at the Shanghai Tianma Circuit, and we were invited by Chunfeng to Tianma Circuit to test this row of Chunfeng's latest products. I won't say what they are now, and I wonder if you can guess. Well, let me first talk about our overall plan. And besides me, Bid Tao, Chia, 8 other riders, all excellent riders from within the country, were also invited to test Chunfeng's new product together. And then this test is entirely based on the condition of a stock vehicle. In the morning, we used a completely stock vehicle, only removing the mirrors. And in the afternoon, we switched to slick tires for testing, including lap times. This is the schedule for the day. And besides inviting so many riders and vehicles, I believe everyone can probably see that the design of this vehicle is very similar to the family style of the Chunfeng 67Y3. So this is the latest model, the Chunfeng 500S. All right, then let's talk about the performance of this vehicle on the track based on my day's testing. Although the entire car is wrapped, the current setup is already in a factory setting state. In our test this morning, since the whole car was in a factory state, everyone was initially quite cautious. However, the car's performance actually exceeded many people's expectations, providing a very comfortable driving experience. Let's start with the riding triangle. The riding triangle of the 500SR is relatively more comfortable, not the aggressive posture of a sports bike. So actually, when riding on the road, the overall ride is quite comfortable. This is about its seating position. The other thing is that suspension setup of the entire vehicle is something all the drivers adjusted after testing. So basically, after a run, they would come down to make adjustments. Currently, the suspension setup is relatively comfortable and soft, but this vehicle is equipped with fully adjustable suspension, both front and rear, so the suspension can be adjusted according to your settings. So basically, making some adjustments like compression, preload, and rebound can meet the needs for track use. And so actually, this afternoon, even when we switched to slick tires for more aggressive driving, the support from the suspension and tires was still very good. Then let's focus on this set of tires. What you see now is a slick tire, but the original tires are equipped with CST's S3N tires. If you've ridden the 675, you must be familiar with them because they are the same as the original tires equipped on the 675. The S3N model is currently only available with CFMOTO and it's not yet available on the market. So if everyone goes to change tires, other than that, it's the CST S3N second generation product, which is not a dual compound tire. Why focus on this tire? First, I'm very familiar with this tire because I have participated in many tests of the S3N. And additionally, this tire indeed provided a surprising performance in this track test. Other riders also commented that this set of tires is very good. So what exactly is good about this tire? The most direct comparison is between the stock tire and Pirelli's Superbike Slick Tire SR, with a time difference of only about 1 second. This is where the strength of the stock tire lies. Additionally, though, this original tire is very good because it features a dual compound. Yeah, the center is made of a wear-resistant material, while the sides are made of a thermoplastic material. So when riding on the road, you mostly use the center, which provides sufficient wear resistance. When you get to mountain roads, if you want to go mountain racing or similar, the sides can provide good grip. That's this set of tires. Okay, and then there's the whole braking system. If you've ridden a CFMOTO bike and then ride this 500SR, you'll feel this bike is very CFMOTO. Why is it very CFMOTO? Because the brake feel is very much like CFMOTO. Of course, it doesn't have a detailed account now. It uses a Nissin brake caliper, which is very effective for the 4, including during our aggressive long-term driving on the track, like at the Tianma Circuit, where each session involves about 15 to 20 laps. You have to keep pushing and braking hard every lap. At this time, many vehicles, especially stock ones, find it difficult to withstand such aggressive braking and may experience heat fade due to high temperatures.
However, the brakes on this bike did not experience any heat fade, which I think is a highly commendable aspect of this bike, and other riders have given similar feedback. So what is the feel of the brakes on this bike like, eh?
Let me briefly describe it to everyone. The brake feel is actually a bit soft with some resilience, and it has enough braking force, but the overall brake feel is soft and resilient. So this is the braking characteristic of this bike. During our track testing, ABS cannot be used, so the ABS sensor is actually removed. Therefore, the entire test feedback is based on braking without ABS. Okay, and another part of this bike is the engine, which I feel has given me some quite good impressions this time. First, actually, before this, I have done so many reviews, and everyone knows I might have some review thinking. I still want to try its everyday driving, because with some previous models, I think especially in terms of the connection of large displacement power, it is a point I pay more attention to. So when I was testing on the track just now, I focused on trying the power connection in the 3,000 to 7,000 revolutions per minute range. Usually with some models, there might be some jerking in the connection, this low speed connection jerking. The optimization of this part of the car, I think, is done very well without any noticeable issues in the transition. This is a highly commendable aspect. The performance across the entire power range. This car has a very good power point starting from around 9,000 revolutions. You can clearly feel that from a bit over 3,000 to 9,000, the power increase is relatively smooth and gentle with a linear power output. Starting at 9,000, it has a very good power boost. When you're on the track, because we often maintain high revs, there will suddenly be a power boost and you'll feel, wow, this is an incredibly exhilarating feeling. So additionally, this car's engine has a good feature, which is its slipper clutch, yeah? Before this, many vehicles were equipped with it, including the brand's own vehicles, which I know had some slipper clutches around CC, but this 500S, the overall feel of the slipper clutch from my testing on the track, I think performs very well. For example, when downshifting, like at turn 1 in Shanghai, we will have the process of shifting directly from 4th gear to 2nd gear. In this situation, the engine's traction will be very strong. Without the slipper clutch, the rear wheels would likely chatter, but with this car, it smoothly slides outward. This is what people refer to as sliding too much into the corner. So actually, if I have the footage, I will show it to everyone. So you can see that the whole car is in a very linear and smooth sliding state, which is a performance aspect of this car's engine. So actually, as after riding the whole car with full tires, including switching to slick tires in the afternoon for more aggressive testing on the track, the feeling it gave me was that the overall comfort of the car is very high, especially for a car that is almost close to mass production. Using it on the track provides a certain driving pleasure, which is quite remarkable. Today, I only did a brief test on the track. If anyone wants to know more about this car, you can leave a comment in the background comment section, and we can discuss it together.